Big inhale, big exhale.
What can you do to prevent lower back pain?
Different things you could do to prevent low back pain was, first of all,
what's up guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're with my boy Eric. He comes over to my house every single week and stretches me out. I think it's probably the most important thing in recovering. As you're training, as you're just reaching your goals, you want to stay flexible, right?
So today we're going to work on Devon's lower back, especially his glutes and hamstrings, to kind of loosen everything up, because as someone who's so active, everything's going to get tightened up, right? So we got to keep that space in between his hip and his joint capsules in order for him to move a little bit freely. So fascial stretch therapy does just that. It's a beautiful way to help your body restore and recover.
Try to take some of these stretches that you learned today, use them on yourself to help out your lower back. Thank me later. Yeah.
So basically what we're doing now is we do traction to start. Traction kind of separates a little bit of the space into the joints, right? Especially in the hip joint, and it also kind of relieves some stress in the spine, especially the lower spine, the lower lumbar. From here, we're gonna do a nice little lateral line stretch. All right, this is one of my favorites. It gets right into that QL, which is that deep muscle in the core that attaches to the low back. So this is stretch number one we like to do, right, to start off our session, to kind of open that up a little bit. So you should feel that all through the side there, yeah, right into the low back, and then you got that. Your left one, you'll get a nice extra pull in there.
Look at that. Ooh, all right here.
Yep, right into the IT band, in the hip, right into that lower back. Yeah. Big inhale, big exhale. Big inhale, big exhale. Good. So with fascial stretch therapy, a lot of times you want to focus on connecting the breath with the movement, right? So it allows us to get deeper into the stretch, also allows us to clear the mind and kind of just connect the mind-body. If you wanted to do that lateral line stretch without obviously having a practitioner, you can actually do it this way. So you would take the leg further away from the object, put it behind your opposite leg, and you're gonna reach that opposite hand over your head, and you'll just kind of lean towards away from the object, getting nice and long with that top hand, and it'll kind of hit that QL a little bit there. Obviously you're not gonna get as deep as you would with somebody else, but it's a perfect alternative to help out. Into the actual low back stretch, I like to warm up the hip, try to get some blood flow into the hip before we start moving around. So we do a little circumduction, just kind of check in, see how it feels, see what it's saying to me. So stretch one, we'll bring it across the body. I'll have Devon take a nice inhale, big exhale. I'll pull a little traction here across the body. If you can see, as he exhales, right, that right lateral line is gonna expand, right? We're getting to the spiral line of the body. So now it's more thoracic rotation. Inhale, and then exhale. And then as that, watch that side release, good. Inhale, exhale. Nice. I'll bring it back, kind of shake it off a little bit. Do a little circumduction across the body. Open up the glute a little bit. Then we'll get into our nice low back stretch. Take a deep breath in and exhale. So everything's gonna start to open up all through that spiral line. Deep and exhale. Inhale and exhale. You can throw a little PNF in here, so when Devon inhales, he's gonna roll his hip back, and he's gonna exhale and release all that. So inhale, roll back. This kind of helps the muscles and the connective tissue open up a little bit more. Inhale, and last one, exhale. So the alternative to this is if you're lying on the floor, right? If Devon was lying on the floor and he was by himself, he could bring this leg across, he could pull it down, and he will exhale and kind of reach that arm across and just let this leg kind of sink a little bit on his own. So very simple. He would inhale, exhale, push. And if he wanted to add that PNF, he would push this leg up into his hand and just kind of then exhale and release and come back down a little bit lower. Yeah. So we'll get into this last low back stretch here. What I like to do before I get into the stretch is I'll just kind of move around. So fascial stretch therapy, like I mentioned, uses a lot of movements starting from the joints, right? Allowing the tissues and the muscles to relax and move to freedom. So I'll kind of warm it up like this, allow Devon to kind of relax, and then I'll have him take a big inhale. And then as he exhales, I'll lift and I'll kind of just lean away, allowing that to sink right into that spiral line again. Again, attacking all of this tissue here. Big inhale and exhale. If you want to get a little deeper, again, we'll have Devon inhale, he'll roll back, throw a little P and F in there, and he'll exhale and release. One more time, roll back and release. And watch everything open up. You can even see the shirt kind of crinkle up. That's how you know we're getting nice and deep into that fascia tissue. Good. So the last one, a lot of people's favorite, we call it the sack of buns. For the obvious reason is the buns are near the sack. So we're gonna lift here. I'm gonna kind of fall forward, get into that hip, and allow again, that spiral line to just open. And he should feel that all the way from his low back, actually up into his shoulder.
Yeah, good.
So that kind of hits the entire spiral line there. I think it's important to stretch hamstrings, but as a stretch guy, I believe in strengthening hamstrings over anything. You know what I mean? But stretching them is important, but it's not necessarily the way to solve low back pain. Because I'm also like a strength guy at the end of the day, so I understand the importance of that.
How often should you be stretching?
So I'm a firm believer in waking up and moving. So whether it's some type of stretching or joint related movement, I don't think it's a bad thing to stretch every day, especially because there's a lot of meditative benefits to it. It's deeper than just stretching the body. You know, if you want to connect your mind, body, and just kind of put everything together, I would say stretch every day just to relax.
What do you do to prevent lower back pain?
Different things you could do to prevent low back pain was, first of all, try not to be still too long during the day. Being still, sitting down a lot, right, that could stiffen the hips, the glutes, which will cause low back pain. So things you can do is really work on strengthening the hamstrings, strengthening the core, and strengthening the glutes. And don't avoid doing any types of thoracic mobility, right? Continue to move your spine. Moving your spine is the most important thing you can do. When you wake
thoracic
up,
mobility?
The ability to kind of rotate your body, right? Be able to turn. The first thing I would do when you wake up, especially, is wake up your spine. That's the central nervous system. Wake up your spine, get the spine to move, right? Cat-cows, thread the needle are like two simple things you could do to open it up. Hip movements, right? Because our lower back is connected to our hips, so being able to move the pelvis, super important. So there's just a few exercises we like to do with our clients to help them release some low back pain and get them feeling nice and free, so they don't have to wake up the next morning hurting, feeling like they can't move anymore.
Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Stay tuned for next video. Every Tuesday, we come out with a new one. Much love.